I knew I should have gone with Jonata Diniz as my dog of the night play, but I ended up having too much confidence on the Marcin Tybura side, and he ends up getting submitted by Sergey Spivak in the opening round of their main event this past weekend. I really expected Tybura's defensive grappling to be held up pretty well, but I do not think he was expecting Spivak to be so aggressive with his jiu-jitsu off of his back, and that's what ended up happening, causing Tybura to submit. Now, we try to look for a dog of the night this weekend. Obviously, our record now on the year, not the greatest. 26-60 for a minus 21.7 unit deficit, minus 25% ROI. You do not want to tail these plays, but we do not shy away from this. This is a segment that I've committed to pretty much, and I will continue to do it and hope we can dig ourselves out of this hole and try to find some better dogs to call dog of the night plays. Again, we're cashing dogs, but I am just not doing a great job in terms of giving the moniker of dog of the night to the correct fighters. We'll see if we can change that around this week. And reminder, there will be a PFL 4-card breakdown for you guys later tonight, so keep your eyes peeled for that. ACA also goes down on Saturday morning. I'll have breakdowns for that on the MMA LOT on Patreon page, and that's also where you'll be able to find out which lock of the night that I went with and which dog of the night I'll be going with, as I only posted to those guys. I give you guys 3 candidates. I only end up picking up one of these. Let's see who we end up going with. All right. Let's kick it off. First fight of the night, we're going to go Stuart Nickel and Jesus Aguilar under 2.5 at plus 120. Now, if you guys watched the full card breakdown that I had for you guys earlier this week, you guys noticed that I didn't pick many underdogs on the money line side of things. So I'm turning my attention to some of the totals that we have on this card. And I think this one here with Aguilar and Nickel is a very solid spot to take advantage of. I think Nickel's pace and pressure and ability to be more technical here than Aguilar will lead to a club and sub opportunity for him where he's able to finish Aguilar within 2 rounds at plus 120. And considering how both of these guys throw down, and all, I believe 7 of Nichols' 8 wins have come inside the distance, I expect him to replicate that trend this weekend as he makes his UFC debut and gets a club and sub victory over Aguilar, but more importantly, cashing the under 2.5 play. The second dog of the night candidate that I have for you guys is going to be Walter Walker, who comes in at plus 110 as he goes up against Junior Tafa. This is a very binary fight with the striker being Tafa, going up against the grappler being Walker. But Walker is very good in terms of taking opponents down and smashing them from that top position. He didn't look so good in his fight against Dresky, and I think a couple brain farts for him in that first round caused him that fight. But I think in this matchup against Tafa, he won't have as much resistance to deal with in terms of getting this fight to the ground. I think Tafa's takedown defense is absolutely horrible, but the only thing worse than that is his inability to work back to his feet. I think once Walker gets this fight to the ground, he's going to be able to wear on Tafa, smash him to bits, and eventually find a finish within a round and a half. I'm very surprised that Walker is the underdog in the spot, and to still get him at plus 110, I think is going to be more than a gift that we need to take advantage of. The third and final dog of the night candidate is going to be Dan Hooker, who comes in at plus 275. Now, in my full card breakdown, I actually picked Gamrot to win this fight, but one thing I kept harping on is the fact that this fight will likely play out closer than the odds indicate. Dan Hooker coming in at plus 275. This guy will be damage-based and damage-centric throughout his fight, and we know that Gamrot more often likes to hold on to his opponents than actually looking to damage them. And I think Hooker will do a decent enough job in terms of defending here. And although he will be put in some bad positions, I think he'll be very dead set on trying to land damage throughout this matchup to kind of nullify and devalue the control that Gamrot's getting in throughout this matchup. So even if this fight doesn't end up hitting the scorecards and we get Gamrot with a ton of control time, you got to start weighing the damage that Hooker will potentially be landing in this fight and consider that he has some value here as an underdog at plus 270. Again, I only end up going with one of these as my official dog of the night play. I've already posted it on the Lock of the Night Patreon page, which you can find in the description below. That's a wrap. I'll see you guys later today for the PFL full card breakdown. See you guys then. Peace.